We're on. What's going on? Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. It's CATO here with the SmackDown Replay of the Week. This was our throwback SmackDown edition. It was a little off, though. I have to say so myself. It was a little off. You did have, the classic SmackDown moments. You had the classic SmackDown fists that he had throughout the show, but it was also like a retro WWE feel where they had, even when it came on, that looked like a clip from like maybe the early 90s, late 80s. They had the Pat McAfee had on the blue sports coat that they used to wear back in the day, way before SmackDown. Cole did have on his jean shirt, but I believe that was like Raw, when Raw first started with the getting into a little attitude era. So even that was a little dated. They had the IC Pro commercials, the ice cream commercials. What else they had? They had the old WWE logo, but they didn't have the F on it, of course. They had the old WWE logo, and they even had the old versus screen, which is definitely like early 90s. Never was a SmackDown type versus screen where you find out like what opponent you're fighting for the night. So it did have your classic SmackDown vibes, and SmackDown, very first debuted and started to air. But it also had that old retro WWE feel. So it was kind of like maybe they wasn't sure of where they actually wanted to go, with SmackDown, the whole retro throwback thing. But regardless, I enjoyed the show because we got to see the return that I've been waiting for months now. Jimmy Uso finally made his return to SmackDown. It's been a long time. I thought he was going to actually make his return in January. I was hoping that he would go on to win a Royal Rumble and then, possibly, fight Roman Reigns for the title later on. But I don't think, that definitely didn't happen. I don't have to think. That didn't happen. So maybe we could possibly get there in another type of storyline, hopefully. Now, Jimmy wasn't the only one to make his SmackDown return. We also seen the return of Teddy Long, Mr. Holla 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 himself, making the match between Seth Rollins and Cesaro, a match where if Cesaro managed to win, he would actually go on to face Roman Reigns for that Universal title. Now, this is Cesaro's biggest match in his career, period. Never had a chance to, compete for a singles world title or Universal title ever before. So this match had a huge implication. Now, throughout the match, the Usos stayed at ringside while Seth Rollins and Cesaro match started. It was a pretty good match, just like Mania. It was actually probably a little bit better than their WrestleMania match, but things started to go take a little turn. Of course, Roman Reigns does not want to face Cesaro at WrestleMania Backlash. That's a given. So the Usos has one job out there: make sure that Seth Rollins win. Problem being, Seth Rollins wanted to win by himself. He wanted to redeem that loss at WrestleMania by himself, which makes perfect sense, especially for someone like the Messiah and Seth Rollins, even though I feel like that was a little bit more of a face move to kind of want to beat someone by themselves with no help. But things didn't go as planned for Seth Rollins because Jay tried to intervene. Seth Rollins ended up pushing him, which led to Seth Rollins getting super kicked by Jimmy, which pretty much opened the door for Cesaro to throw Seth Rollins in the ring, hit the neutralizer, and pin him for the 1-2-3. Now he will finally get that one-on-one match with Roman Reigns that he's been desperately seeking for a while now, for the past couple of weeks. So his first Universal title match, man. I want to see Cesaro win. I really do. And there's a few ways that this could really play out. Jimmy is clearly not on the side. He's not fully falling in line with Roman Reigns and his plans right now. We know that the Universal title holds the power. If Roman Reigns doesn't have the title, it really means nothing. Now, I don't see Cesaro as the one taking it from him, but if he did take it from him, the way that he would get there would have to be someone like Jimmy Uso helping him out and pretty much either making this a one-on-one match by keeping Jay out the way, or, physically inserting himself in the match and helping Cesaro defeat Roman Reigns. I don't see that happening. I see Roman Reigns retaining his title one way or another and moving on. And I would like to see maybe a feud with him and Jimmy, giving him the same opportunity that Jay had, where, if you lose, you fall in line. I did a video before in SmackDown when I said, hey, Roman Reigns is Thanos. Roman Reigns needs 2 more stones to complete his whole Infinity Gauntlet, he needs 2 more. Number 1, he has Paul Heyman. That's 1 stone. He has Jey Uso, and he has the Universal title. 2 more stones being Jimmy Uso and The Rock himself. Now, of course, The Rock wasn't going to be able to make it at this WrestleMania. I wouldn't even have wasted The Rock at this WrestleMania. I would have locked The Rock in possibly for next year WrestleMania. That would make the most sense, where you know you're going to have fans. You know you're going to be able to, pack the house. I believe they're going to be in Dallas, so that stadium is huge. So that's definitely a place where you want somebody like The Rock to appear, if that's going to happen. That's just what I think. And then if he wins, I mean, hey, he'll have all the stones. It'll be complete. He'll have complete control, complete power. And with that said, I don't think it's a mistake that Roman Reigns actually ended up on SmackDown. I think with SmackDown being the show that The Rock built, I think it's all going to play a part later on if we do get to see the match between The Rock and Roman Reigns. Now, we also seen Carmella. She defeated Ruby Riott. More importantly, man, I think it's another gimmick switch for Carmella. It wasn't the same Carmella, man. And I think with the return of Eva, I feel like Carmella is who they wanted. When she first returned, they wanted her to be more like Eva, and the way that they're presenting Eva to be when she comes back. So we're going to have to see exactly how Eva looks when she returns to the WWE, like exactly what they want her persona to be. But I guarantee it's something more on the lines of what they wanted Carmella to be. So now Mella, like, she's going to have another whole new gimmick change, right? Hopefully that doesn't lead to her being, exiled from WWE or anything like that, because I think Carmella still is fun to have around. She's not bad either. She's pretty good, and her gimmick, she always makes it believable. Okay, so everything she's had so far, I feel like she's killed it. I feel like she's done a good job in every role that she had thus far in the WWE. Now we also seen a match where Dolph Ziggler lost to Dominic Mysterio. We thought we was going to get Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler, but Ziggler managed to weasel his way into fighting Dominic Mysterio and actually losing the match. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't really like watching too many Dominic Mysterio matches, not the one-on-one matches. I don't mind the tag team where he's with his dad because he's not in the ring as much. But just watching a Dominic Mysterio match, I feel like he has so much more to learn and such a long way to go before I can really sit down and enjoy a match, just a one-on-one match. Even putting him in there with guys like Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy and even your Dolph Ziggler, guys who are really great inside the square circle, who can maybe hide that he's not, the best wrestler right now. So when you pair with these guys, it kind of just hides them, and they're doing most of the work, or pretty much leading them around the ring, telling them like what to do next and stuff like that. But nonetheless, Dominic Mysterio did manage to pick up the win, and that builds just some momentum for him and his dad going into this WrestleMania Backlash tag team title match, where I think they're going to end up becoming the first father and son duo to win these tag team titles, which for me, I think is perfect because it's going to open the door for Jimmy and Jay to defeat a team like that. So that way we don't have to give away our Uso and Street Profits or Uso and Dirty Dolls or anything like that, because we can save that match for later when it's time for Street Profits to come back around and get their shot to tag team titles. I'm pretty sure it'll be the Usos that they're going to have to deal with, and that's going to be a nice couple of matches, because I'm sure that feud is going to be stretched out so that we'll have a nice long-lasting feud between the two. We also got to see Tamina defeat Reginald in a one-on-one match via disqualification. Now, I'm sorry, man, the past few weeks, I think Tamina and Natalya has the tag team champions number. They've beaten them in multiple ways in the past few weeks, singles matches. It's like, hey, they're also building momentum. They're going to have a tag team title shot next week on SmackDown, and I think they're going to get the job done. I think this is the perfect niche to have Tamina and to have Natalya as a tag team, because you got these two veteran wrestlers, like I've been saying for a while now, and they found their place. They found their groove, and that's in the women's tag team division. I think they're going to be able to knock off the tag team champions. I don't know if they'll have help from, like, Mandy Rose or Dana Brooks come down and interfere or cause a distraction or anything like that, but I think they'll find a way to knock off the tag team champions. Now, I will say after that match, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax did leave Natalya and Tamina laying flat. They left them with a distinctive message saying, hey, we're still the tag team champions right now. You're going to respect us. So, I mean, this match, the hype around this match is real. Nia Jax and Tamina, they have family ties. So, I think it's going to be a really good match. But I think the tag team champions may have their days numbered when they meet this new duo for those tag team titles. Now, in the main event, we had a huge 10-man tag team match. It was Kevin Owens, the Street Profits, Big E, and Shinsuke Nakamura taking on the 5-man team of Apollo Crews, King Corbin, Chad Gable, Otis, and Sami Zayn. Now, we did see earlier in the night that Sami Zayn does have his eye on the Intercontinental title. He does want that title back, which leads me to believe that, hey, after this Cesaro feud, possibly after this Jimmy feud, maybe that'll open the door for somebody like Big E. But let's get back to this match, where King Corbin was able to put away Shinsuke Nakamura with the end of days, getting him the win for his 10-man tag team. Now, I don't know if him getting the win is going to open up a title opportunity for him for the Intercontinental title or what, but Corbin is like one of those guys that seem to win the Battle Royals, the King of the Rings, but it never really leads anywhere. It never goes anywhere. Corbin's kind of like in that gatekeeper role of any contender. Like, if you want the world title, if you want the Intercontinental, the US or whatever, you're going to have to somehow manage to go through King Corbin. And he seemed to, just settle into that role, which isn't a bad role, but one still has to wonder, like, okay, what's next for King Corbin? Does he want tag team gold? Does he want single gold? Is he happy just winning King of the Ring and just continuing to be the king? I mean, look at Jerry Lawler. That got him a long way in the WWF. So maybe that's going to be his role going forward. All right, now, I normally don't talk about segments. I normally just, let them go by because they're kind of meaningless for the most part. But the segment at the end of this SmackDown show kind of really laid the foundation and kind of really left the door open of what may happen, what could happen. It kind of left the storyline, open to the point that it could go any direction, right? And that's one thing that I've loved about SmackDown and storylines with Roman Reigns. They kind of leave it open to the point they can sway you left or sway you right, So, at the end, Roman and Jay pretty much come down, tell Jimmy, look, you got to fall in line, man. You got to listen and do what Roman says. He's the champ. He's the chief. So you got to pay attention to the tribal chief and listen to do what he says. Roman gives Jimmy the ultimatum, fall in line or go home. Jimmy starts to make his way up the ramp as if, I'm not dealing with this. I'm done. Jay runs behind him and try to go stop Jimmy from leaving when Cesaro hits the ring and start to give a beat down to Roman Reigns. Jay makes his way back down to the ring, but Jimmy was holding him as if, let him fight his own battles. He makes his way down to the ring. Cesaro starts working on Jay. Jimmy, of course, has to come and save his brother. Now, with that said, Cesaro was the last man standing. He left all three lane, which made Cesaro look like, like a Superman, like the Superman that he's supposed to be, right? But it just made him look so legit as a contender, leaving all three of those guys laying. You're talking about two guys who are possibly the best tag team in the business in the WWE right now for sure. You're talking about the Universal Champion who's been on a hell of a run. You left all three of these guys laying and you was the sole person standing. That shows you are a legit threat to this Universal title. What that also shows is that Jimmy is reluctant to come help Roman Reigns, but he'll do anything for Jay. Okay? So in this match, like I was hinting to earlier, if Jimmy wants to screw Roman, he could. That's a door that could still be open. Do I think that's going to happen? Absolutely not. I think it's going to be a similar situation like on SmackDown where Jay is trying to make a save, and once his brother gets in trouble, Jimmy is going to come down there and help his brother, which makes perfect sense. But I also believe that Jimmy is going to find himself into a Universal title match, possibly at SummerSlam. Now, Jay feud was great. Jimmy feud, I think it will be just as great. The storyline is already written. The storyline is already there. All you have to do at this point is put together great matches. I don't want to see a divide in the Usos because they're, a great tag team. But we could see a situation where you're going to see Jay versus Jimmy. And if Jimmy can win, he'll get his shot at the Universal title. You've watched Jay fight all of Roman opponents first. You watch Jay try to get him. He tried to attack every opponent that Roman Reigns had. Before they even got a chance to Roman Reigns, they always have to go to Jay first. Always. So that's going to be a very interesting factor right there. If Jay is forced to fight Jimmy, that will show that Jay either aligns himself with Roman Reigns or he's going to align himself with his brother, which could be a big rift in, the Uso family. So that's going to be pretty interesting, man. I like where SmackDown is going right now. And it's ironic because SmackDown is supposed to be the B show, right? They're supposed to be the B show, but they feel a little bit more like the A show. Yes, Monday Night Raw have the biggest stars, I guess you would say. They have more time. They have the extra hour. But they aren't putting on a better show than SmackDown right now. The storylines aren't as good as SmackDown. The title scenes aren't as good as SmackDown. Even your tag team champions. Like, I like the Dirty Dogs better than I like AJ and Omos. I really only like Omos for the fact that I want to actually see what he can do and how far he can progress. But other than that, I mean, I think SmackDown, at every step of the way, is better than Monday Night Raw right now. And that's really rare to be seeing or hearing. I mean, not since days of, The Rock, when you see things like that when he was on SmackDown, way before the brand split. But with the brand splits, typically they make sure Monday Night Raw remains the A show. Right now, the A show by label, but by actually watching, I think SmackDown got them beat. But let me know what you guys think, man. Who do you think is the true A show right now as far as enjoyment watching the show? What show do you think is better to enjoy and watch? Also, what do you think is going to happen with Jimmy? Man, do you think he's going to split from Jay and Roman Reigns, go his own way? Do you think he's going to fall in line? Do you think he's going to end up getting that Universal title shot? I'm just happy that he's back, man. That's somebody who I wish would have won a Royal Rumble. I thought it would have been like, just an even better way to set everything up. But I don't mind the Edge winning. Salute the Edge, man, because Edge still came out and did his thing and had a hell of a match and had a hell of a triple threat match for the title as well. So, let me know what you think is going to happen with the Intercontinental title scene, because right now, I feel like it's kind of open for everybody, Apollo Crews doesn't really have a true contender. I think Big E may have one more opportunity to go at him. If he lose again, it's on to the next person, man. And I would love to see Big E actually throw his name in the hat for that Universal title. It looked like they was heating up for that for a little bit and then kind of got away from it. But maybe that's something that could possibly still happen. A little later on down the line, like Survivor Series time, I'm thinking about around there. Maybe we'll get the New Day to be reunited when they do the draft. Let the New Day be reunited, and they could take on Roman Reigns and the Usos, and I think that might be a pretty good storyline right there. That probably roll us all the way into Royal Rumble season next year. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me in the comment section down below. Hit me in the DM. Make sure you're following The Wrestling Replay on Instagram at The Wrestling Replay. We're gonna have our contest, our giveaway coming up really soon, I hope. Once we hit 100 subscribers, we're going to start that giveaway on the Wrestling Replay Instagram page. So you have to be following in order to know the rules and how to throw your name in the hat to win whatever prize we're going to give away. All right. Before you go, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications so you're notified anytime we drop a video. And that about does it for me. I'm CATO. That was your SmackDown Wrestling Replay. See you guys back on Monday Night Raw. I'm signing out. Peace.